Her name is Lisa Cook. She's the first black woman to ever serve on the U.S. Federal Reserve's Board of Governors. Federal Reserve is kind of like the Bank of Canada. It's a central bank. It sets monetary policy in the United States. And because of the size and impact of the U.S. economy, what the Federal Reserve does is closely watched right around the world by global markets. She's now filing a lawsuit over President Trump's attempts to fire her. The announcement coming a day after Trump said he was getting rid of her over allegations she had committed mortgage fraud. Critics say Cook is just the latest target of Trump's campaign against diversity, equity, and inclusion. But they also say this is about Trump trying to take control of the central bank, which is supposed to be free of political interference. They say that the firing of Lisa Cook, the president directly intervening, will erode the independence of the American central bank and send shivers through global economic markets over the bank's independence or lack thereof. Trump, by the way, says he has the constitutional power to remove a sitting governor for cause, so this is going to end up in the courts, like many other controversial things the president has done. Karen Pittru is my guest. She's a financial analyst and co-founder of the Federal Financial Analytics Group. Good to have you with us, and thanks for taking the time today. Karen, your thoughts on this story?
Oh, it is an important one down here because the independence of the Federal Reserve is really important to something else I know you care about in Canada, which is the status of the dollar and our role as the global reserve currency. And that rests in part on faith in the United States and then also to faith in the Fed. Faith in the United States has been sorely tested, as I don't need to tell you. But that in the Fed has not been until now. The Fed for sure is not always right, but markets have been assured that it tries to do the right thing and fears that if Donald Trump, or indeed any president, took it over, the Fed would act for political, not economic reasons.
So your take on where this is going to end up, Karen, because Trump has said, look, I can get rid of her. She says, no, you can't. My understanding is she's staying on the board for now. She is attending meetings. What sort of showdown does this end up resulting in?
It is a showdown. As you said, right now, Lisa Cook has filed a motion opposing this in the courts. The expectation is that she is seeking what here is called a temporary restraining order to block implementation of the president's order of dismissal. The Federal Reserve yesterday indicated that if something along those lines came out, then Ms. Cook would continue to do her job at the Federal Reserve based on the courts authorizing her to do so. Should this process take time, or for some reason the court not side with her, then the Federal Reserve's, I thought somewhat surprisingly, implied that she would be pushed out. The real issue here, as you rightly said, is that the president cannot dismiss a governor of the Federal Reserve at will. It must be for cause. And the allegations behind the president's decision have yet to be even publicly substantiated, let alone proven.
I wonder what you think the message is to global markets when something like this goes on, because, you know, at one point you might think they would be really rattled, but they seem to be shrugging right now anyway, Karen.
Well, exactly. Yesterday, I actually did a radio interview early in the morning, and I said, I thought the markets would be really, as you put it, rattled. I thought they would drop, and I was wrong. They didn't. I'm honestly not sure why that is. There seems to be this assumption, perhaps after the tariff scare, that the United States would somehow soldier on, no matter how much damage we did elsewhere. I don't think that's true, and this is going to rattle the markets more, but it might take a real surprise, like a battle in the courts or something else, before it shakes market confidence.
Karen, wonderful to have you part of our coverage today, and thanks so much for taking time for CTV News in Canada.
A pleasure. I wish I were up there with you.
Come anytime. Karen Pittru.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Karen is a financial analyst, co-founder of the Federal Financial Analytics Group.